What is going on, guys? It is time to go over the boy Tarkus. And I was supposed to do Esna, but after all the complications that happened, and I really don't like the character, yeah, I'm gonna skip her. But if this video gets enough likes and complaints about your girl Esna, I will do a Esna guide video. All up to you guys, but I'm gonna do Tarkus and then probably Haspel, because I know a lot of people want to know about Haspel because everyone thinks he is garbage. But is he though? We might have to find out. But first off, we're gonna go with the boy Tarkus. Look at the boy evolutionize. Evolutionize is not even a word. It could be a word, but it doesn't matter if it's a word. We're gonna go over his skills real quick, and then of course we're gonna go over his gear, his hero talents, and all that good stuff. But first and foremost, let's go over leader skill. Garbage. Nah, I mean, obviously, whenever you see all attack anything, it's usually for a dungeon or anything like that. So if you are, it is the highest attack one. I'm really waiting for them to do if you have wall, water, allies, multi-strike, counter-strike, HP or something like that, but they always do attack. So yeah, that's it. And again, if this is probably going to be only for like Nikita dungeon, or if you're doing Nina, I do think that all water will be decent for Nina, but then again, if you do all water, then you have to fight Ruby, and Ruby's a little bit of a problem. And when you all water, you're gonna have a hard time, so you know, whatever. So first, let's go over the S1 again. What I like about this skill is that it does do we'll do a lot more damage to the max HP. This is really good for dungeons of that essence, or just tankier characters. It does a really good amount of damage. Definitely feel like it's not something to look over to, but we gotta look at everything before we go over to what to max first. The S2 is a nice little cone attack that does remove buffs. If you even look, only at level 3 do you eventually get to remove 2 buffs, and then eventually 3 buffs. Really good, obviously, because it's 100% chance on base, so it does not matter how much you put in. At least you're gonna remove 1 buff from those targets, which obviously is good when they have, I don't know, buffs, and especially with these bosses that have any type of removal buff, like let's say Nikita that has the adrenaline buff, or when you're fighting in PvP, adrenaline buff, shields, damage immunity, strike preparation, all this crap that these people have. And you could at least remove it in a cone at that, so that's really good. Then we got the S3, which is a single target nuke, but if he has his craze, which is his own little lovely buff, he will actually do a cone attack after that. That does not as much as this, but pretty close to it. And as you can see, it gets a little bit better penetration damage as well, so you don't have to worry about shields. So that's also pretty good. Now, Tarkus has a decent kit, as you guys can see, nothing too crazy, as some characters have a lot of crazy stuff in the skill department, but he is a passive monster. If you go to the Thrill of Carnage, caster becomes crazed for 1 turn at the start of the battle, 100% chance for the caster to become crazed for 1 turn upon killing an enemy, 40% chance to gain the same effect for the same turns when attacked. Then increases the damage dealt by 70% when he is crazed, damage decreases taken by 50%, and guarantees counterattack when not crazed. So with that being said, let me actually go to a 60 passive also before I talk about it, but once you invest fully into him, he cannot be stunned. He has a 100% chance to gain his turn when he gets a kill, which combined with this, he will automatically get crazed, which means he has 70% damage on his next attack. Also, he cannot activate this more than 2 times in a row. Pretty much that means if you were to kill one person, you get a turn, and then if you kill another person, you will not go again. Kind of sucks. I would have loved if he just kept going, but whatever. Can't be too picky. And he has a resolve, just a little ice cream on the cake. And it is the super resolve, by the way, I like to call it. This resolve is the one that pretty much he has to gain a turn in order not to die. So he gets hit, resolve, he, you know, all the turns pass, he can keep taking damage, and then eventually he'll take a hit. Eventually his turn will come, and then he can die afterwards. The only thing I think that counters this currently, I forgot what character. There's a character that does move resolves. I forgot what character that was. You guys will have to let me know. But there's a character that does counter resolves in the game now. I forgot. I feel like it was Taroni, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, so you get this, immune to stun, gets a kill, gets craze. The cool thing about craze is that if you don't get kills or you're just kind of sitting there, you will automatically counterattack. And I did showcase or talk about in my video, so pretty much he can counterattack, get a kill, get a turn instantaneously, attack at that time. Really strong stuff here, guys. That is why when I go to the gear aspect of it, the rune aspect of it, you'll see that I actually will suggest like multi-strike as pretty much my go-to for him, just as a heads up. Now we're here in the character. I actually do own this character, so let's look at his base stats. Of course, like I said, if you guys won't say, I don't remember, I'll always say it in these videos, every single SSR of the same type have pretty much the same base stats. Outside of speed, they're all pretty much the same. So base attack is 3818. Put that into your head. The attack speed is going to be different. He's going to have a base attack speed of 579. Not that bad. Remember, Ruby is like 599, so he's 20 off of that. So yes, if you put some work in, you could have him go first. And he does start off with Craze when you have that, so he won't counterattack for free when he first starts off, unless you for some reason decide to give him counterattack, which I personally would not do. Crit chance, all that other stuff is all going to be the same. HP also is going to be the same. Defense is going to be the same as every other SSR attacker. Just keep that in mind, guys. Now, as far as gear, I would definitely go with multi-strike. The reason why I'm going with multi-strike and why I would suggest it is because, as you can see, I put BS gear on him. I gotta still level this stuff up. But the reason why I'm going multi-strike is because of how his passives work. So imagine this. So you strike with the S3, do a buttload of damage, then you multi-strike, which is why I actually would suggest maybe actually leveling up the S1, because he does have free counter, and if you bring multi-strike, the S1 will do good damage, especially with the max HP thing. So you pretty much attack, do a lot of damage, multi-strike, getting in another turn, then you can S2 multi-strike, then your craze is done, then you have your counter, your free counter up, right? Now your S1 you're gonna hit again with the S1 and then this is why I'm suggesting this. I would normally just kind of go for this because how much damage this actually does for the S3, but it's only when it's up, right? So if you want to make him like this PvP nuker, but for dungeons, which is kind of where I want to use him a little bit at the moment, I kind of want to have him really strong. This match HP thing is ridiculously good on high HP targets, so that's where my bonus skill enhancements are going to go. My bonus skill enhancements are going to go to the S1, and that's why I'm going multi-strike. So especially because of this, remember, increased damage dealt when he has craze, so he's most likely going to have craze on his turn, and that's when he's going to multi-strike. He can only multi-strike on his turn, so it's just, in my opinion, the best way to increase his overall damage output. So outside of that, so what I would obviously do on top of that is that I would get the multi-strike, and then I would get the multi-strike plus to make sure that he's doing even crazier damage when he's multi-striking, amplifying the damage, amplifying that bonus HP stuff, just making ridiculous amounts of damage over and over and over again. I have seen it, but the problem is that Runes, baby, Rune Dungeons has not blessed me, so I have to go with this. Look at this. What is this? I mean, obviously you can't. If I want to use him in Nina Dungeon, you cannot have auto HP recovery in that dungeon. So look at, oh my goodness, disgusting. But you got to do what you got to do, and that's how we always are. Everybody that plays any gacha game knows that the rune, you have to, sometimes you got to give a little bit up of that pride and just take what you got. So that is what I would suggest. Obviously, if you don't have if you don't want to go multi-strike, you don't think you value it that much, Unity, of course, like I said, you go in pure water. Not only does his passive, his leader skill, give you a bunch of boatload of damage. If you're going all water, Unity is always good. Unity does give you more than Rage does. You have to be said. If you're purposely going to be putting this unit with nothing but water and it's an attacker, you want to go Unity. Agility, obviously, I'm just going to have to bring it up for the fact that he's decently fast. He's not super slow. Can actually gain a turn, a go first with the S3. Like I said, this would be, again, more for the S3 strategy. I know that there is concentration. There's the concentration rune set that does make your S3 hit harder, but he already has a 70% damage boost, so him going first or just getting an extra turn is actually just a little bit more important if you're trying to do that. So yeah, agility is going to be a really good option for you. Continuity, which is the multi-strike boost here. Destruction, always will say this. I actually had someone in one of my other videos asking me about going crit damage. I only go crit damage on characters that have crit damage, like something that gives them an easy way to crit, either easy way or automatic crits. Like I would go crit damage on Christian, even though he doesn't have a automatic way of critting, which he technically does with the weakness, but that's like more if he multi-strikes into it. But he does give himself a crit chance buff, so I would be more inclined to him. He has nothing in his crit, nothing in his passives that give him any crit damage to any easy way to crit, so I would not do that. I'd rather just give him more damage to help his scaling of his S1. Remember, these things scale off his attack. So when you lessen your attack for something, it has to really make it up somewhere. So you want to have their attack as high as possible. There goes the good old rage set. Like I said, rage, see, this is 20%, unity is 40, so it's pretty effectively double. But as you can see, if you're not going to be running them with a pure elemental team, mono team, then just go rage. Rage is always the go-to for any attacker. No shame in going rage. You don't have to do any fancy shenanigans. You could just go rage. Especially if you don't have any weird game plan, like how I want to go multi-strike. That's just some game plan that I'm concocting. So as you can see, like, I'm getting screwed here. Like, this is 2, and by the way, when you're doing runes, just count the substats. I don't care too much about the rolls. So I have 2 right there, 2. No multi. This is why his attack is so low. I have, and then, oh my god, now I'm going to change the hell out of this because it's bothering me. I only have 2 substats of attack, so that's why his attack is so low. 63. Where if I showed you, I mean, a 73 here, I guarantee he doesn't have that many. 2. See, he's not on rage either, so this is probably a better example, right? 3, 4, 5. So 5 of attack, and he's in 73 in comparison to Tarkus, who is 63, 1,000 off. They're both not on rage, right? So 1,000 off from 5 from 2. So definitely, again, I need to get more attack subs on him, regardless, because there are like little small intricate little things, like this one is 3%, this one's 2.8. Just get as many subs as you can. Just trying to get some help for the newer players that might not know about that. Got Tarkus, saw he was cool, but don't know about counting substats. You count subs in this game because it's very easy. Rune farming is so easy. So all you need to do is 1, 2, count how many you got. That's all I do when I do runes. Pretty much what you're trying to do with Tarkus is abuse the fact that he gets turns when he gets a kill. That's pretty much what you're trying to abuse. That is the whole game plan of Tarkus, and just the fact that he does an insane amount of damage. And remember, he can just become crazed just because he takes a hit. Where is it? Actually, it's here, right? 40% chance to pretty much get crazed randomly when he takes a hit. So and if he doesn't have craze, obviously he's taking 50% less damage. So yes, he's just a little tanky asshole, and that's pretty much what you want to abuse 9 times out of 10. And here we are, the lovely hero talents. Obviously, we're going to go with the attack. I actually haven't maxed here, so don't really have to do that. Now, again, are you using him in arena, or are you using him in the boss thing? That's up to you. And this one, S2, you're going to be not really using it that much, so I'm going to say either arena or bosses. I'm currently just trying to use him for Nina's boss, but eventually I will probably switch over to the arena buff because it's just a little bit better. And he is a monster in arena. Don't sleep on the boy. He will sit there and randomly clean up your entire team, or at least he can cone attack, kill possibly like 2 units, and then get another turn and kill something else. Like, it's crazy what he's able to do. This one, we're gonna go with the defense. Yes, you can go with burn because he does have counterattack. If you're going multi-strike also like I am, you could go burn. I just want him a little bit more defense since he already has damage reduction in his kit. Just make him even harder to kill. Next up, 56, we're gonna go with, again, are you going here or are you going here? Now this one, you could actually vouch for it, give him additional more attack. He does have some damage reduction in his kit, so you can viably say that he'll stick around longer. Plus, he does have the busted resolve, so he can sit there and be at 1 HP, not dying, and then randomly get an attack boost of 30%, and then knock them on their ass. So that's really up to you. This, like I said, the only reason why I like these are because they're consistent. You're taking damage in arena all the time. You're taking damage less from bosses all the time. This thing only happens 20% of the time. So that's up to you. Last but not least, I always have to go over this. Crit strike damage if they have auto crit or crit boosting stuff. Same thing with the crit damage rune set itself. So I usually will always go crit chance. He already has penetration on his ult, so I don't really think you need this. But again, if you feel that there are people that are constantly bringing shields into PvP, you might want to tech this. Which is why I hate this whole aspect of even having to pay for this, or at least paying as much as you have to constantly re-roll it. This should be something that you should pretty much be able to go back and forth with without spending too much resources on it, because it's supposed to be, oh, I need this for this right now. That's kind of what this is supposed to be how it's supposed to work, but this is implemented terribly in my opinion. Sorry. I don't like it. Never liked it. Alright, I'm just gonna do it here in the codex. I don't know why. I turned on the screen rotation and it just would not cooperate, and it just kept freezing over and over and over again. So if I fix it, you probably won't see this, but if I can't, I can't. So this is the S1. Nice little slashes. So much better when you can see it in there. This is the bone. You can't really see it because like the animation, you'd actually see the bones coming out. This is the S3. Does that. I'm not really too impressed by the S3. I think it could have looked a lot better, like if for as strong as he is. And when you look at Haspel's and how aggressive Haspel's is, it just seems like, dang, like he could have got like way more bones coming out of the ground, like crazy amount of bones just like flying in from everywhere. Like I don't know, they could have definitely made it more aggressive, way more bloody. He's crazy. He should be like that looked like he actually has control over what he's doing, but he's supposed to be psychotic. So I would have like like a bunch of insane amount of bones. That's what I would have seen. But oh well, that is the boy Tarkus. I definitely think he is a great character. Hope for you guys that have him, let me know what builds you guys are going on him, how you've been using him, and things of that nature. And let me know again if you guys want to see Esna or do you want to see Haspel, whatever. I don't care. Just let me know what you guys want to see next, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.